Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody is doing good. And this time I'm back with the suggested answers of strategic management for the September 24 exam. The paper for me seems to be a damn simple one. Even the MCQs are not very tricky because they are straight out of the book. If you have concentrated on various lines that are there in the book, these MCQs are definitely something that you could have done with ease. I'm hoping that many people get 15 out of 15 in this particular paper. So before I discuss the answers here, I would like to draw an additional attention to my previous video on auditing suggested answers. So those of you who have not watched that video, go watch that video. And one more thing that I would like to clarify here is these are suggested answers. Maybe the wordings that you would have wrote in the exams can be a little here and there. So don't panic or don't worry about it. Just take them as a guide. And sometimes some people have a different opinion. Maybe that should have been the answer. The closest to the answer be given. If you exactly want to match the ICAI material, I think it's practically not possible, but people say that unless you write that you won't get marks. Again, I'm saying it's suggested answers. There have been hundreds of instances where institutes suggested answers of the past have contained different answers to what was there in the material. So I'm not saying this is right, this is wrong. Just ensure that you take that as a guide. Okay, so sometimes people have a different opinion or point or two. I appreciate all of those because being an auditor, that is what we always do, right? Fighting on opinions. So again, I don't call it as fighting on opinions, but if somebody would like to share that, say this is particular answer that I wrote, or this is the answer that is there in as per institute material, fair enough, a thing or two can be. I've again tried to put those suggested answers for strategic management. Now let us go ahead and quickly run through. This is going to be a very short while because this video is going to be very simple. Going by that, the first section we had 3 MCQs with no case study on it. Even the case study questions were damn straight and had nothing to do with the case much as usual. So super products has 4 divisions. That's your first clue. Then it followed by alpha, beta, cos and theta, a little bit of reminder on trigonometry, and all the divisions are independent products. That's your first that's a second clue, and they're integral parts of the company. Each division has its own set of activities, the third clue, and each general manager, that is each of them, are responsible. By seeing all these itself, you should recognize without thinking twice that those are the characteristics of an SBU. What I didn't do in audit MCQs, but what I've made an effort to do here in SM MCQs is I also added an explanation, because of the 15 MCQs that were there in audit, there was probably one difference of opinion on something about an assertion. So this time I didn't want to leave any room for the logic behind it. So I've added the explanation, and it's straight out of the story that all these 3, it's either a single business or collection of related businesses, has own set of competitors, and has a manager. So all these 3 are solid reasons enough to why get you 2 marks. Mind you, these are all 2 marks MCQs, and that would have been that simple for you to score out of it. Moving on to the second question, always ahead is a player in FMCG, herbs, healthcare and white goods, has a diversified portfolio on investments. On further analysis of the relationship between market growth rate and relative market share, Boston Consulting Group matrix, growth rate and market share for the white good business found that opportunities to increase the market share are there. When you have opportunities to increase the market share, you obviously have to spend on it, put investment into it, money into it, which means of the 4 words of build, hold, harvest and divest, build seeks the big deal. But before you even conclude, they gave away the answer by saying emphasis needs to be made on a strong future even by foregoing short-term earnings. This line, even by foregoing short-term earnings, is there in the material very clearly. The moment you should have seen that, you would pull off the word build. Next to the word explanation, build, objective is to increase market share even by foregoing short-term earnings. That is such damn thing. So easily you could have pulled it off. A correct sequence of Kurt Lewin for 1 mark. Kurt Levin's been my favorite topic forever because it's one fantastic topic for bringing change. So unfreezing, changing and refreezing, 3 names. Those of you who were focused on it, you should have got it absolutely right. Then there's a case scenario of quick and safe logistics. I definitely not want to waste time on reading it. All of you can read. It's a very, we learn as we grow, as a principle of learning curve. Bring the best user experience. The current philosophy is about a statement of what you're doing to do now, current philosophy. There's a lot that the paragraph gives, so please take a minute to read, but I'll go with the answers here to start with. As per strategies propagated by Michael Porter, niche marketing, delivery by next day. So you can see two of these keywords to understand. Niche means a focus from here, and delivery by next day, this is specific what people are expected to pay for. So it's focus, differentiation, two things, so you can easily pull out. Reason is there because the company is targeting a specific segment which is called the niche, and which also quick service in the next day. Obviously you might have to pay additional for that, so you can charge a premium, which fixes out the answer to be focus, differentiation. The philosophy of the company is stated to bring the best of the user experience. So if you go back to the paragraph here, they gave current philosophy. Two words which are suggesting the answer as mission is, one is current, because mission is about present business scope, current, and the word philosophy, the philosophical base, philosophy also represents that it is a mission, outlines the purpose and core values of what the company is doing. The strategy in which company wants to keep ahead of and reap the first mover advantage. It's a straight damn question. I don't know what it has to do with the case study. Some of my students have even told that, sir, we didn't even read the case study, we straight away went on to this, we read the questions, we are able to answer, and I think many of them were confident that they'll score all 10 marks. If you do something first, it's called proactive strategy. Then moving on, this is a very nice question of this entire lot. If many people went wrong, this was a stage where they went wrong. This was the question that they went wrong, the 15 one. In the context of the service of transportation through railways, first thing I want all of you to understand is railways is a very matured industry in a country like India. The company is analyzing a relation between volume of business on one axis and time on the other as per the product life cycle. So volume of business and time. Based on the time, what's the volume of business? You've reached a peak and now you're in a stable growth rate phase. It's maturity. So the curve will be like this. You've started somewhere here. You've gone up to a level, now it is coming up. So this stage will be maturity because growth is stabilized. Further the growth is slow. Okay. Then in strategic management, the concept of decline in per unit cost is attributed to experience curve. Again, something I don't know what had to do with the case study. See, I have done this without even reading the case study, asking you to read that. Still you are able to discuss concepts, and which is exactly why I tell in the class, if you focus on the concepts, you will be able to pull off things like this very easily. So this was wholly the story of 15 marks. Kurt Lewin giving you 1 mark, and many basic concepts, PLC, experience curve. The more stronger you are on value chain, which was later asked as question answers, strategic management paper, I am hoping this time many people should get anything close to 40 plus would be something achievable. If you're getting in the range of 25 to 35, that means you have done your job well. Anything less than 25 in this paper, I'd say if you pass it overall, don't mind about it, but other than that, if it is not attributing to that much, then you need to seriously work hard on having a more subject grip. Questions, very easy. So this one is a very uniquely presented question. I said, but some words in the question give up the answer. I'll again show you that. One of the mobile telephone service providers in India, okay, it has its own mobile network, towers, distribution channels and all that. It operates through a network operation, technicians, marketing, sales. Here itself they told, currently all members are on its roll, okay. This is like you have owned everybody on your payroll. The company knows market is competitive, the environment is quite unstable, first giveaway to you, and is likely to remain so. It's a straight line out of the book for network structures. Customer tastes and preferences are changing very fast, so there's a need for innovation. While eliminating in-house, that gives up the entire answer, and you eliminate in-house business functions and you're considering outsourcing a lot, then automatically it becomes a story of network structure. If you can write what is network structure, what are the advantages, you can flexibly change because those people are more updated, you can focus on your core competencies at the main point. Outsourcing can reduce operational cost, allow specialized knowledge to be, if you are good at marketing, do marketing, outsource the rest. If you're good at coding, do coding, outsource the rest, like that. But of course you will lose control because you're outsourcing, dependencies on third parties, confidentiality and security of our information, and coordination challenges sometime, and cultural misalignment are some demerits. I think you should be spot on in getting this. Second one, after discussing a big story, the question that they asked is, what should they do? It's a straight topic that I copy pasted out of the book. Persistent negative impact, improvement in internal efficiency. All these are points that one needs to understand. Again, in the view of the same, the board of directors evolving a workable action plan. So from all these points, we try and understand that the strategy adopted is clear there. It's a retrenchment. Which retrenchment strategy? They're saying it is something to do with a turnaround strategy, and the action plan for turnaround is very straight and simple. Current problems assessment, developing a strategic plan, implementing the emergency plan, restructuring it, and of course returning to normal. It's a straight out of the book question. Okay. And the third question of that, this is interesting here because they asked you to outline which strategies are being followed, where both they gave. One thing that you have to understand is market is narrow, that brings in niche, which means focus is in question. In focus there are two types. One, people who are ready to pay premium, another price conscious. So for price conscious people you will do focus cost leadership. For people who are ready to pay premium you will do focus differentiation, and a combined advantage of focus strategy is discussed here. Again, it's all about how much or how long does it take for you to identify these kind of things, and if you really can work it around in the exam, you should be able to get those marks. This time these 3 questions panned up to 15 marks, which I believe is something that you should easily get this. Not to say the other 4 questions are also very easy. Explain the term objectives. Explain the term objectives, and if objective is supposed to be meaningful, what the characteristics is what they're asking. So that is, I can't elaborate more on that, on how these 4 are just pick and drop from that particular paper. There's no introspection of you thinking about something, case studies, difficulty, nothing. So objectives to be having, the question they gave, if objectives are to be meaningful, what should they do? And the same line is there in the book. So it's just pick up and write. Value chain, yeah, of course value chain are having primary and support activities. They asked you 5: inbound, operation, outbound, marketing, and service. How much do we shout in the class about these 5? So they asked you, and I keep telling, one of these primary or support can always come in the exam. So this was like a gift of 10 marks. Both are such damn simple questions. 7th one, 4 specific criteria of sustainable competitive advantage. I keep telling you, either these 4 points, that is valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and not substitutable, either these or the other 4 on sustaining competitive advantage, which is durability, transferability. Those 4 points are there. No, either this or that, something has to come in the exam. Now if durability, transferability, appropriability, and imitability are coming, for sustainability of competitive advantage you have to write those. When they use the word criteria of sustainable competitive advantage through core competencies, here they are asking on what basis. 4 criteria. They gave questions so damn straight. So valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and not substitutable. Startups rarely go for stability strategy. Of course, yes, because stability is for those people who are settling down after consolidation. So this paragraph is again straight out of the book. A startup will not choose it because startup thinks of more ambitious aspects. And 5 reasons as to why you will do stability is because you've reached the maturity, the risk is less, environment is relatively stable, expansion now will be costly, and after a period of rapid expansion you want to breathe for some time. So you're going for major reasons of stability. 8A is one of the most shouted, highlighted, revised topic in the class, I can tell you that, which is what are the threats to new entrants. 7 of those. In the light of the 5 forces, explain the common barriers to new entrants: capital requirements, economies of scale, product differentiation, brand, switching costs, access to distribution channels, and threat of retaliation. And the last topic of your syllabus is strategic performance measures. This time I want almost everybody to revise that and go, because I somehow sensed some question from SPM can come, because generally when we move to the end people are negligent about those topics. So the types: financial, customer satisfaction, market, employee, innovation, and environmental measures. But yeah, you did have one more question from the very same chapter as to, for navigating change during digital transaction, of 5-pointer. What are the main aims and objectives? Communicate it to all the employees, don't bring it as a surprise. Be ready for resistance because some people will not agree for it. and when you do changes, implement it gradually and offer stiff resistance and training when you need to do so. So that's it. I believe this is one of the very easiest strategic management papers I've seen in the recent times. So like I said, I have nothing much to say, and a similar paper might come out in the next attempt. Questions are easy if you study well and go. So I hope this video helps you as a guide for understanding what the answers to the September 24 exams are. So like I said, one more time I want to repeat, if you watch the video till here, just the video of suggested answer audit is already there, 1 or 2 introspections here and there, but for that audit has 25 questions. So barring those 1 or 2 questions, I think you can consider revising through all those answers so that you're well prepared. This is not just only for the people who wrote the September 24, guys who are writing the Jan 25 and further. This is actually also very useful for you to understand 2 things. 1, what sort of questions are coming, and 2, to realize the fact that nothing comes really out of the box, like something that is not there in the book, or where you need to increase more of your preparation. Nothing of that. So just stick to the basics, do that well, and things will work well. So that was my suggested answers on the 50 marks of strategic management paper. Hope that helps. I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys.